This tutorial may be of interest to you if you have access to one of the Toshiba Estudio series of photocopiers. These photocopiers can scan directly to PDF files, which is often useful in our day-to-day work. Now, some people may ask the question, why not use a fax machine instead? Well, there are several ways in which the photocopier outshines the fax machine. The first of these is speed. With large documents especially, it may take several minutes to scan them within the fax machine, while the photocopier can scan them in a matter of a few seconds, and then we can email them in just as little time. Secondly is print quality. The scans that the photocopier produces are far superior to most products produced by fax machines. The third reason is privacy. When you send a fax, you have no way of knowing who's going to pick up that fax on the far end or who's going to see it in the time it takes to deliver it to its destination. When you send an email, you have a personal email address to send that document to. The fourth reason is universality. Not everyone has a fax number, but these days virtually everyone does have an email address. And the final reason is persistence. Suppose that the person on the other end mislays the document, or you mislay the document. You still have that recorded copy, that PDF version on file, either in your network share where you saved it, or within your email system itself. So, let's take a look at what's involved in using your photocopier as a PDF scanner.
To begin the process, we're just going to press the scan button. Now, if nothing happens on your machine when you press the scan button and the button doesn't light up, that means your machine is not enabled to scan, and you'll have to see about getting that activated if you want to use this feature. Once we press the scan button, we can choose Scan to File. We're going to choose PDF as the file format. Now, in here there's a long path name that you'll need to record so that you can retrieve your file later on. And that is going to be the location of the file. It's actually a hard drive located right on the photocopier. We're going to press File Name. We're going to put something meaningful in here, so we're going to backspace out that file name. And we can capitalize by pressing the first. That turns off after one letter. My fat fingers aren't typing so well today. And we press enter. So there's our file name, the location it's going to. We're doing multi-page. If you just had a single page, you could put it on top of the scan table. But we've actually got a document here in our document feeder. That's a multi-page document. We're just going to press enter and scan. The document feeds through. And as fast as it feeds through, our file is created. Our next stage will be to go to the computer to retrieve that file.
Once we've logged into a computer that's on the same network as our photocopier, we can begin to access the files that are on the photocopier. Now, that address to the photocopier is going to be fairly long and complicated, so we want to create a shortcut or some other mechanism to access it repeatedly. So we're going to start here on the desktop. I'm just going to right click on the desktop and go New and choose Shortcut. Now this is where we type the address to the photocopier. In this case, it's going to be CNSL COPIER, that's in console. And then, most often, the hard drive is called file share, and in all cases, the folder that the Toshiba copier puts it in is called scan. So once we've done that, we simply click Next to continue. Give it a name that's going to be meaningful, and click on Finish. And we'll just drag the shortcut up here so we can see it. Now, anytime we want to access that folder, we simply double click on it, and there's our test file that we scanned. We can open it up and view it, and we can see the result. Now, let's presume that you don't have a computer without deep freeze on. So the computer in your classroom or wherever you're wanting to access the photocopier from has deep freeze installed. If it does, that shortcut is not going to remain on the desktop. So what you would do in that case is go into your home folder on the network and follow the same procedure to create a shortcut within your home folder. There's still yet another way. Again, if your computer doesn't have deep freeze, we can come up here. I'm going to go Control C to copy that address, and then go Tools and Map Network Drive. Drag this down. Now we can select a drive letter that isn't already assigned to something. So in this case, I'll pick Z. We'll go Control V to paste in here, and we'll check this reconnect at login. When we click on Finish, it'll automatically open to that window. Now we have a drive letter mapped. So for example, if I just close this window momentarily, now if we open up my computer, we can see that in fact we have a drive letter assigned. There's drive Z to that photocopier, and because we selected or checked to reconnect at login, that drive will exist every time we log in at the school. So we open that up. Once again, there's our test file. So that's as difficult as it is to create a permanent link to your photocopier. You have the choice of doing it on your desktop, doing it in your home folder, or mapping a network drive. Remember, if your computer has deep freeze installed on it and deep freeze is active, your only choice is to create a shortcut in your home folder. Finally, one of the things that's really important as more and more people begin to use the photocopier as a scanner is that we clean up after ourselves and take our files off the hard drive on the photocopier. Otherwise, it gets very difficult for people to find their own files. There's another reason to do this as well. As you've noticed, we never used any kind of username or password to access the photocopier hard drive. Therefore, that means anyone can access your files if you leave them on there. So if there's anything in the least confidential, you want to get it off there. So in this case, here's our test file. We're just going to come in here, go Control X to cut. I'm going to go back to my computer, and I'm going to open up my home folder, Drive View on the network. And maybe I've got a file called My PDF Scans. And I'm going to go Control V to paste. So the file now is moved. Now we see it within our home folder in the folder My PDF Scans. If we go back and look on the photocopier, it's no longer there. So that was simply Control X to cut, Control V to paste. And of course, you could just as easily drag the files. If you do that though, you're going to have to right-click and drag and then choose Move. So let's look what that would look like. In this case, we brought up two windows. The window on the right is the photocopier hard drive, and the window on the left is my home folder. So we want to move this file by dragging it. We right-click on the file and drag while we hold down the right mouse button. And we let go, and it gives us the choice of whether we want to copy or move. And in this case, we choose Move because we want to remove it from the photocopier hard drive. And of course, if you didn't remember to right-click, you could drag it and copy it and then delete the copy that's on the photocopier hard drive. But it's always good to clean up after yourself, just to keep that hard drive clean and also so that any sensitive information doesn't get left there.